Hello everyone. In this video we are going to see how we can find out the time complexity of any given program. So first let me talk about the program. So program is basically categorized into three types. First category is simple program. What is simple program? Simple program is a program which contains sequential lines. Now second category is what? What is second category? Iterative programs. Iterative programs. And last category is what? Recursive program. Recursive programs. Correct? So first we will see simple programs. If any simple program is given, then how we can find out the time complexity of that given program. Then we will see some of the questions from the iterative programs. Iterative programs means a program which contains loops concept. Now what is recursive program? A program which contains function calls, that is called recursive programs. So first let me talk about these simple programs. So let's say a program is given to you. Let me take one example. So this is a simple program because every statement is a what? Sequential line, means there is no concept of for loop, there is no concept of iterative loops, or there is no function call in this program. So this program is what? Simple program, or you can say sequential line programs. So see, we want to find out the time complexity of this given program. So how we are going to find out the time complexity? So in order to find out the time complexity of any given program, we will do only priority analysis. So let me talk about the priority analysis. What is priority analysis? Priority analysis. It is a determination. It is a determination order of magnitude of a statements. Correct? So what is this priority analysis? It is a determination of order of magnitude of a statements. Means what? In order to calculate the time complexity, we are going to see how many times each and every statement is going to be executed. So in this program, how many statements are given? Total 2 statements are given. So this is what our first statement, then this is what our second statement. See, this statement is what? Declarative statement, and this statement is just one arithmetic expression. So in order to find out the time complexity, we will see how many times every statement is going to be executed. That is what the time complexity of that program. Time complexity means how much time this program will take in execution. Let me talk about the notations. What is notations? See, we will talk about notations in the later classes in detail. First, let me give you some brief introduction about the notations. Let's say if I want to represent the time complexity of any program, so I will simply use this notation. This is capital O. This notation is called as Big O notation. Big O notation. Big O notations. Let's say for representing the constant value, I am going to simply use order of 1. So this notation is called as order of 1. If any program takes constant amount of time, then I can simply write order of 1. What is the meaning? Let's say in execution, my program takes 5 unit time. If this program takes 5 unit time, then I can simply write order of 1. Let's say if you execute this program onto the different type of processor, so if it takes, let's say 100 unit of time, because 100 is what? Constant. Then if you want to represent any constant value in terms of time complexity, then you can simply represent with the help of this notation, which is order of 1 notation. Let's say this program takes 10 raised to power 9 unit of time. See, this 10 raised to power 9 is a very big value, but still 10 raised to power 9 is what? Constant value. So you can simply represent this constant value with the help of this notation, which is nothing but the order of 1 notation. Correct? So time complexity of that program is going to be ultimately order of 1. If any constant value, so you can simply write order of 1. Why order of 1? Or why you are ignoring constant every time? Because we are doing what? Priority analysis. In the priority analysis, we are not calculating the exact value, we are just calculating the approximate value. So that is the reason we are just ignoring some constant values. So let me talk about this program now. So see, what is this statement? This statement is nothing but this simply declarative statement. Means what? This is every variable x, y, z will take some space in the memory. So it will take only some constant amount of time. After some constant amount of time, this x variable will be declared, this y also be declared, this z will also be declared. So it will take some constant amount of time. In order to, it will take constant amount of time, and for representing the constant value, I can simply use order of 1 time. Correct? Now, this statement is what? This statement is just performing the addition of two numbers, or you can say arithmetic expression. So this expression will also take some constant amount of time. It may take 10 nanoseconds, it may take 1000 nanoseconds, but still this is what? Constant. So for representing constant value, it is going to be ultimately, order of 1. Constant means ultimately order of 1. So what is the time complexity? We are going to add all the statements values. So 1 plus 1 is what? Ultimately, what is the time? So it is going to be ultimately 2. 2 is nothing but the constant. So time complexity of this given program is order of 1. So this is how you are going to calculate the time complexity of programs. So let me give you one more example. See, if you see this program, every line is what? Sequential line, means there is no concept of for loop or you can say recursion. So every line is a simply sequential lines. So if you see how much time this declarative statement will take, again it will take order of 1 time, means constant amount of time. For representing constant value, you can simply use order of 1. Now, this is just simple printf statement. It is just printing the hello, hello. So it will take order of 1 time. Now, what about this statement? This statement is also, it will take constant amount of time. So again, it is going to be order of 1. Now, it will again take order of 1. Now, this is what? Again, arithmetic expression. So order of 1. Now, this is what? Order of 1. So what is the time complexity? If you add all the values, every statement values, so it is going to be ultimately constant only. So what is the time complexity of this program? So time complexity of this program is order of 1. So this is what the meaning of time complexity. Now let me give you some more examples. Let me talk about the second category, which is, iterative programs. If you see this program contains what? For loop. Now see, again, if you want to find out the time complexity of this program, so you need to see each and every statement. Now how much time it will take? So it will take order of 1 time, because this is the declarative statement and it will take some constant amount of time. For representing the constant value, we can use order of 1. Now this is what? Again, arithmetic expression, so it will take order of 1 time. Now if you see how many times this statement is going to be printed, it will depend on the, this for loop. Then the number of times this for loop is going to be executed. So printf hello will be printed those many times. Now how many times this hello is going to be printed? this hello is going to be printed 100 times because this for loop is going to be executed 100 times. So 100 times means it is going to be printed 100 times, and 100 is what? 100 is again constant value. So if you want to represent any constant value, so it will take order of 1 time only. So what is the time complexity of this program? Time complexity of this program is nothing but the order of 1. So this is what the meaning. Now let me change this. Let's say this is n. Correct? Now, so this loop is going to be executed n times, and we don't know the value of n. That is the reason you can simply write it will execute n times. Correct? So what is the time complexity of this program? Time complexity of this program is what? 1 plus 1 and plus n. So these many times statements are going to be executed. Now 1 plus 1, what is the dominating term in this? Means this one is the dominating term. You can ignore the constant values. So what is the time complexity? Time complexity of this program is order of n. Correct? Now let me change. Let's say if it is n square, then what is the time complexity? This printf is going to be printed n square times. So time complexity is going to be n square. So for this program, time complexity is going to be n square. Okay, let me write next program. Now if you see this program and if you try to unroll this program, now if you try to unroll this for loop, so what will be the time complexity? We will again see. Now what is the, how much time it will take? So this is again declarative statement, and declarative statement will take order of 1 time. Now this is what? Simple one arithmetic expression, so it will take order of 1 time. Now in order to calculate the number of times this hello is going to be executed, we have to unroll this for loop. See how many times this outer loop is going to be executed. This outer loop is going to be executed n times. Now, so this, if you see this inner loop is going to be executed n by 2 times every time, because it will start from j equal to 1 to n by 2 times it is going to be executed. So for I equal to 1, for I equal to 1, condition is if you take any big value of n. So for I equal to 1, condition is true, then it will execute the second loop. So now it is going to be j equal to 1. Now how many times this loop is going to be executed? For I equal to 1, this loop is going to be executed n by 2 times. Correct? Now it means what? Hello is going to be printed n by 2 times. Now then again I value is going to be incremented, so it will become 2. Then again 2 less than n, condition is true, it will enter into the loop. Now then again this print hello is going to be printed how many times? N by 2 times. So it is going to be printed n by 2 times. Now for I value, when I value will become 3, again it is going to be printed n by 2 times. For every value of n, for every value of I, it is going to be executed n by 2 times. So it means what? N by 2 times plus n by 2 times plus n by 2 times plus n by 2 times. You know how many times? It will be executed n times. So what is the time complexity? So n times. So n by 2, let me take n by 2 commons. So 1 plus up to n times. So time complexity of this program is what? So n by 2 into n. So time complexity of this program is n square. So you can simply, so see, you can execute this program. See, both the programs are they are not dependent to each other. They are not dependent to each other. So this program is going to be executed n times. This program is also going to be executed n by 2 times every time. So you can directly multiply those. So it is nothing but the n into n by 2 times. So ultimately time complexity is order of n square. Correct? Okay. See, if you see this program now, so we need to, what is the no is this is the statement. We need to analyze how many times this statement is going to be executed inside this while loop. So if we are able to understand how many times this expression is going to be executed, then we can find out the time complexity of this program. So let me take anything I can take anything which is greater than n equal to n equal to 1. So we can consider anything which is greater than or equal to 1. Now if you take anything which is greater than equal to 1, so now let me take n value, you can take anything, let me take n value 50. Now 50 less than 1, this loop is not going to be executed even single time. Correct? Now if you take anything, so this loop is not going to be executed even a single time. So what is the time complexity of this program? So this time complexity of this program, because it is not going to be executed at all, so time complexity of this program is it is executing 0 times. So now it will take order of 1 time, but this this loop is not going to be executed for any value which is greater than n equal to 1. Correct? So time complexity of this program is order of 1. Now let me do some modification in this program itself. Let me make it greater than. Now we need to see how many times this program is going to this statement is going to be executed. So let's say now I am considering, let me take n equal to 256. Let me take n equal to 256. So 256 greater than 1 condition is true. Then control will enter into this inside this loop. Then it will make the n value, which is n is going to be, so for n value 256 it is going to be executed for the first time. Then n value is going to be decremented, which is n is going to be 128. Now 128 is greater than 1, condition is still true, then again it is going to be executed. So this loop is going to be executed second time for n value 128. This loop is going to be executed. Now then it is going to be n equal to 64. So it is going to be n equal to 64. Now 64 greater than 1, condition is still true. Condition is still true, it means what? Now again it will this loop is going to be executed. So for n equal to 64, this loop is going to be executed. Now it will become n equal to 32. Now 32 is greater than 1, condition is true, again it is going to be executed, and n value will become 16. Correct? Now so 16 is greater than 1, again it is going to be executed. Correct? It is going to be executed. Now but n value will become, this time n is going to be what? N is going to be 8. Now 8 is greater than 1, condition is still true, then again it is going to be executed. Correct? Now but n value will become 4 this time. Now 4 is greater than 1, condition is still true, condition is still true means it is going to be executed. Now but n value will become 2 this time, n is going to be 2. Now 2 is greater than 1, condition is still true, means it is going to be executed again. It is going to be executed again, but this time n value will become 1. So n is going to be 1. Now see, 1 greater than 1 condition is false, it means it is not going to be executed. This loop is not going to be executed, or this loop is going to be terminated. Yes, now this loop is going to be terminated, means n equal to 64. How many times, n equal to 256, how many times this loop is going to be executed? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. For n equal to 256, this loop is going to be executed 8 times. Correct? So what is the meaning? Now 256 can be written as 2 raised to power 8. For 256, this loop is going to be executed 8 times. If I take 1024, this loop is going to be executed 2 raised to power 10, means 10 times it is going to be executed. For 1024, this loop is going to be executed 10 times. If you take 512, so 512 can be written as 2 raised to power 9. So this loop is going to be executed 9 times. Means what? This loop is executing in terms of 2. Correct? Now for n value, this loop is going to be executed 2 raised to power k, because we don't know the value of n. Correct? So this loop is going to be executed k times. Now simply you can calculate what is the value of k. Now if you take log both the sides, so it is going to be log n, so base is 2. Now this is going to be log base 2 raised to power k. So this k will come this side, so it is going to be ultimately, let me write here, log 2n, and it will become k. So for n this loop is going to be executed log n times. If you take for n value, this loop is going to be executed log n times. So time complexity of this program is nothing but the log n. Time complexity of this program is log n. Correct? Now let me do one more modification in this program. Let's say this is 3. This is 3. Now, so how many times, what will be the time complexity of this program? Now, in order to find out the time complexity, you need to see how many times this statement is going to be executed. So let me take n value, let us take 27. I am taking n equal to 27, correct? Why I am taking, see 27, because I can represent 27 in power of 3, because I need to divide every time, correct? So you can take anything, you are not supposed to take only 27, you can take anything. Now 27 is greater than 1, condition is true. Condition is true, it means this is going to be executed for the first time. Yes. Now then in the second iteration, in the first iteration, n is going to be what? N is going to be, so it is going to be 9. Yes. Now in the second iteration, again condition is going to be checked. So 9 is greater than 1, condition is true. Now it means again it is going to be executed. For n equal to 3, it is going to be executed second time. Now then again n value is going to be what? This time n value is going to be 3. Now 3 greater than 1, condition is true. Now it means what? It is going to be executed again. It is going to be executed again. Now then finally n value is what? N is going to be what? 3 upon 3 is what? 3 upon 3 is what? 1. Now, so 1 greater than 1, condition is false. So this, this loop is not going to be executed, or this loop will be stopped. Now, so if you see for n equal to 27, how many times this loop is going to be executed? This loop has executed only 3 times. For n equal to 27, this loop has executed 3 times. So if it is 27, so 27 can be written as 3 raised to power 3. Means for 27, this loop is going to be executed only 3 times. If I take 81, so 81 can be written as 3 raised to power 4. If you take 81, this loop is going to be executed only 4 times. This loop is going to be executed only 4 times. If you take 243, let me show you. If you take n equal to 243, correct? Now 243 is greater than 1, condition is true. So this loop is going to be executed for the first time. Yes. So this value, now if you execute this statement, so n is going to be what? N is going to be, if you divide this, so n is going to be 81, correct? Now if you again 81 is greater than 1, condition is still true. Condition is still true, it means what? It is going to be executed second time. It is going to be executed second time. So n value going to be updated. So it is going to be 27. 81 divided by 3 is going to be 27. Now 27 is greater than 1, yes. So it is going to be executed one more time. So it is going to be, now in the next iteration it is going to be what? So 9. Now 9 is still greater than 1, yes. So again it is going to be executed one more time. So when this statement is going to be executed, so 9 will become 3. Now 3 is still greater than 1, condition is still true. So again it is going to be executed. So this loop is going to be executed. Now n value is going to be what? 3 upon 3 is what? 1. Then 1 greater than 1, condition is false. So this loop is not going to be executed. Now for n value 243, how many times this loop is executed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means what? 243. So 243 can be written as 3 raised to power 5. 3 raised to power 5. So 3 raised to power 5 means for the value of 243, it is executed 5 times. So let me take, if I take n equal to, No, if I take n, for the value of n, this loop is going to be executed in terms of power, in terms of 3, in the power of 3. So 3 raised to power, let me take k. So if I calculate the value of k, then I can calculate the time complexity of this program. Now what will be the time complexity? Let us solve this. So n equal to 3 raised to power k. Yes. Now if you take log n both the side, so it is going to be log n, now log 3 raised to power k. So in order to solve this, you need to use base 3, correct? Now if you simplify this, so it is going to be log 3 n log n base 3 equal to k. So this is what the time complexity of this program. So time complexity is what? Log n, but base is 3 this time, because this n value is going to be updated every time by 3. So this is the reason. What is the value? Log n base 3. So this is what the time complexity of this program.